When I was 42, I was really struggling with my health. I was struggling in my relationship with my partner. I was having a really hard time in my career. I was in debt, and it was really creating a lot of uncertainty. I was having a lot of problems with anxiety, sleepless nights. And then I found these concepts from Tony Robbins that really changed my life. Now I'm 65, and I've built a business I'm proud of, super rewarding career. I have a great relationship with my husband, great relationships with my 3 kids, and a circle of friends and family that I love being around. My life is full of adventure, and I have no idea when I'm going to retire, all because of these concepts that I have learned from Tony Robbins. So today I want to share with you 6 Tony Robbins concepts. They didn't just inspire me, they saved my life. And maybe they'll do the same for you. Constant and never-ending improvement. And it's something that I've learned and now teach with all of my clients that I've used for over 20 years. Even the smallest baby step is movement forward. Being consistent, and every little movement forward, it counts. It builds confidence. It's rewarding. It lets you know that the little changes that you make daily add up to big change over time. So what we would do when, for example, when I had clients who were training for their first 5K, I would have them first walk around the block because the idea of the 5K of a 3-mile race was overwhelming to them. And they're going, how am I ever going to do that? And I taught them that the small steps that they take, even if it's just a walk around the block, is movement forward and towards their goal of completing the race. So a lot of you are trying to make massive change 100% in one day, and that can be overwhelming and make you give up before you even get started. So just to focus on one small thing, one daily do that you can do every day towards your goal, it really helps build success, it builds confidence, and it helps you move towards that massive goal, but just in small little baby steps. Concept number 2, practicing gratitude. Gratitude is the secret sauce to all success and also powerful for manifesting. Before I was practicing gratitude, I felt directionless. It was one of the most powerful things that I did was starting to shift my mindset and really think about things I was thankful for. Your thoughts actually create your reality. I could focus over here on worry, which felt very real, or I could focus over here on gratitude, which also was very real. Which one do you want to focus on? Where is it going to bring more happiness, more joy, and more success in your life? My relationships were better when I was focusing on gratitude. My husband was actually happier to be with me. My friends felt more joy when I walked in the room because I was radiating gratitude. Over here, when you're worrying and you're like a negative Nelly and just you're drawing more to you. It's like you have a big cloud over your head. So I choose to focus on gratitude because of the power and the change that it makes in my life. Gratitude is the secret sauce for manifesting a life that you want because you're going to draw back to you all the things that you're focusing on, which leads me to my next point. So point number 3, where focus goes, energy flows. Where do you have your focus on day to day? What do you do to really control your mindset and focus on the things that you want more of in your life? If you're focusing on complaining, if you start saying, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, you focus on being tired. How do you feel? Just try it right now. I'm so tired. I actually start to roll my shoulders forward. But if you go, I'm so energized, what I'm focusing on is pulling energy into my body. I pull my shoulders back, my posture becomes better. I speak louder. I'm not speaking quiet and like as if I'm fatigued. And what you focus on actually draws in more and determines your outcome for your day. And not just for your day, but just like we've already talked about, it creates momentum. One day leads into another day, and the more you practice, the more you create neural pathways. Neural pathways are little grooves in your mind that get comfortable, and then you start to create like this little dirt pathway. I'm going to really focus on gratitude. I'm going to focus on what I want more of. I'm going to focus on building the life that I want. It creates a little pathway, and then you keep paving it over until eventually you have a full-on highway of these thoughts that are focusing on what you want more on in your life. Concept number 4, finding a mentor or a role model. If you've never been there before, it's going to be hard to find your way there. So it's really important for you to find somebody that you look up to their values. They are living the life that you're aspiring to live. can be somebody who's living, somebody who's fictional or non-fictional, a relative, somebody who's not even in your social, probably not in your social circle, and you're going to aspire to be like them. You're going to go, well, what would this person do? What would that person do? And then you're going to follow the actions of what that person did so that you can create the same results. Having a wonderful role model, somebody who's powerful, somebody who's unstoppable, can be life-changing. You can create goals around that. But what would this person do in this situation? It actually helps you step out of yourself. I actually call it building an avatar. An avatar is somebody who, when you can't do it, what would this person do? And then you step into the role as if you're already that person. Having no target, having lazy targets, like trying to shoot an arrow in the dark, you're going to hit nothing. Movement is medicine. Movement creates change faster than anything else. If you put emotion and movement together, that really is the secret. Putting those two things together, so dancing and declaring to yourself, I'm ready for change, I'm ready for change. I have a friend of mine who was going through a really hard time in 2008. And if you remember that time in 2008, a lot of people were making a lot of money. All of a sudden, that went away overnight. This happened to my friend. So him and his wife, they sold their cars, she sold her purses, her shoes, and they ended up just starting from square one. They would run around the house and they would dance and they would sing and they'd say, I'm successful, I'm a millionaire, you're a millionaire, you're a millionaire. Declare it to be so by putting emotion with motion, being excited about it as if it already has happened. We have mantras, we have things that we say, we have affirmations, we declare it as if it has already happened. We say, I am worthy, I am successful, I am deserving, because that I am stating it as if it has already happened, as if it is already so, brings it into fruition faster. Why not? Why not you? So concept number 6, the power of rituals. Rituals are so aligning for creating a day that sets you up for success. Setting your intentions for the day is a powerful tool to use to actually create a day that you love to live. I used to just turn on the news so I could stay informed. Well, the news is really set up and designed to create fear so that you keep coming back for more news. You want to really start your day, even scrolling on your phone, grabbing your phone when you first wake up and then scrolling and doom scrolling to go, what happened? What's going on? What do I need to do today? Why not take just a moment for yourself? Set yourself up with some rituals that set you up for success. Why not? 5 minutes, that's all it takes, is to set yourself up for a day that you're going to look forward to living. We call it Miracle Morning in Recharge the Soul. I love this simple, sacred ritual for my day. I start out, I do my affirmations. I declare what I would like to have happen. One of my ones that I'm working on right now is I radiate gratitude. Gratitude is the secret sauce, as I've told you before, to creating everything that you want in your life. Everything I have created in my life started with gratitude for the smallest of things. How are you going to have big things happen when you're not even grateful for the smallest of things? Connecting with your higher power, whatever you call that. I call my higher power God, but whatever you call your higher power, connecting for 5 minutes so you can call in all the help. Why not ask for all the help? Do your prayer work, do your meditation, and then start your day. I love Insight Timer. That's one of my favorites because our minds can get a little bit squirrely. You know, they call it monkey mind because there's so much going on in the world today. But take just a moment for yourself. Have a ritual of starting your day with super simple affirmations, gratitude. Gratitude journal is very powerful. And prayer. Super easy. Beautiful way to start your day. And then my next ritual, you have to take care of your body. I do red light therapy, love my red light therapy, and then I do some sort of movement. It could be yoga, it could be going for a walk with Little Bear, my dog. I hope you enjoyed this content, and if you did, please like and subscribe or follow below. And if you have any comments or questions, I'd love to hear them. Enjoy your day.